Now class, the next topic that we're going to start is your comments. That is very small topic. Okay, suppose class, let's say in my code I want to write x equal to, suppose I'm writing something. Okay, suppose I'm saying let's say x is equal to 12. Okay, name is equal to, let's say, Python. Okay, now in this case let's suppose let for the sake of explanation, let's say Rishabh and I are working together, and Rishabh does not know Python. He knows some other language, but he does not know Python. So what I can do in this case now, for to make Rishabh understand my code, okay, there is something called as comments. Okay, what I will do, I will write here that x is a variable storing 12. Okay, now commands are basically that part of the code, okay, which doesn't get executed. Okay, Python will read that line. Okay, Python will come to this line x equal to 12, and as soon as Python says hash, Python will start ignoring whatever is written after hash, specifically in Python. Okay, I am talking about in Python. There are, commands are available in other languages as well, but in every language there is different way of creating comments. In Python specifically, for creating comments we use hash. Okay, so what will happen now, see, let me show you another example in this. Suppose I'm writing here print hello. Then I'm writing, let's say, print let's say hi. Okay, and then I'm writing print bye. Now if I run this code, you can see it is all three of them are working. Okay, hello is also getting printed, hi is also getting printed, bye is also getting printed. But suppose, let's say, I put a hash here in line number 2. I put a hash here in the starting and I rerun the code. So here you can see the second line, print hi, is not working at all. Okay, only print hello, only hello and bye is getting printed on the screen. So what exactly is happening here? As soon as you put hash before any line of code in Python specifically, so what will happen? Python will completely ignore the entire line. Whatever is written after the hash will be ignored by Python. Okay, now there are multiple usages of Python. First usage, okay, to make the code more understandable. Okay, this is the first thing. Here you can see, okay, now I've written x is the variable storing 12. Okay, so Risha will be able to understand the code better. Okay, second reason, for testing the for testing different parts of code. For example, like I am giving like I gave you this example. Suppose we are writing here print hello, print hi, print bye. Okay, now due to some reason, okay, I am getting some error, or maybe I am getting some different output. I'm not getting the desired output. So in that case, what I want to do is I want to I want to test the code. Okay, what exactly is happening at each and every line. Okay, or what different parts of the code are doing. Okay, so what in that case, I can comment out even instead of removing some parts of the code, I can comment them out. Okay, and I can then rerun the code so as to test the code. Okay, so here you can see print high is not working. Okay, so in that case, okay, I am checking the output without the print high line. Are you getting this, everyone? Without executing the print high line, I am checking if the code is working fine or not. Is everyone getting this, class? Okay, and there is one more, to provide in code documentation. So this is also called as encode documentation. Okay, encode documentation means the documentation that is present inside the code. Suppose let's say we are writing some code, okay, and uh, there are different functionalities available. Suppose let's say there is a 100-line code, Okay, and in that 100-line code, there are 4 functionalities are available. Okay, it is basically 4 functionalities means the code is doing 4 different tasks. So in that case, okay, I can write 4 different commands, okay, at 4 different places in the code, so that the other person, whoever reads my code, will be able to understand that, okay, this part of the code is doing this task, this second part of the code is doing this task, and so on. Okay, so for these 3 purposes, primarily we use comments in any language. How to have comments, continuous, multiple, and comments. Okay, so until class, there is one more thing. When we talk about comments primarily, comments can be of 2 types. Okay, there is single line comment, as we can see here, hash print hi. There is one more thing called as multiple line comments. But let me tell you one thing, as like even if you Google anywhere, like online or wherever, okay, on multiple websites, it will be written that multiple and comments are available. Okay, like Jagdish explained, okay, using triple quotes. Okay, in the chat, Jagdish has mentioned, okay, triple quotes can be used to create multiple and comments. But as per the official documentation of Python, multiple line comments are not there. Specifically in my Python, multiple line comments are not there. Okay, only single line comments exist. Okay, there is no concept of multiple line comments specifically in Python. Let me tell you why. Okay, and why this whatever you have written like this, that is not a comment. Suppose, let's say I am writing here address. Okay, address is equal to triple quotes. If you remember class, in the last session, I told you that triple quotes are also used for what? Triple quotes are used for multiple line string, right? Okay, so suppose, let's say I want to comment this both of these lines out. Okay, so what I will do, okay, I will select these 2 lines here. In the starting, I will write triple quotes, and here also I will put triple quotes like this. Okay, so now what will happen, whatever is written between these 2, this thing, okay, will be taken as a comment. Okay, will be taken as a comment. Now you can see it is taking hello only and bye only. It is ignoring hi and you. Okay, but this, you can see this is working as a comment, but this is actually not a comment. Let me explain why. Okay, see this thing, class. Suppose I take this and I put this completely inside a variable. I'm writing here x is equal to like this, or like this. Okay, x is equal to this. Okay, and then I write print x. Okay, so you can see it is printing hello, bye, and whatever we have written here. Okay, this is basically a string. This is a multiple line string. This is not a comment. Are you able to understand the difference, class? When we are not, when we were not storing this multiple line string into a variable, inside a variable, it was acting like a comment, but it was not a comment. Are you getting the difference, everyone, class? When we say comment, Python will not at all read the comment. Whatever is written inside, whatever is written after the hashtag, okay, after the hash, okay, Python will completely ignore that. But here Python will read. The entire idea of creating a comment is it will also save time also. The code, suppose you have written some lines as a comment, okay, so Python will ignore them. Python will not waste time reading them. Why is it not reading from top to bottom? It is reading from top to bottom, no? It is printing hello, then it is printing y, okay, but the, like, I have written print x here, na? So x is just a string here. This is a string. It is working as a string here, this part. And then I've written print x. That is why it is printing this part after the by. Okay. Got the difference, class? Got why I'm saying that this is not a comment? Perfect. Okay. But what you can do, class? What can be done? Okay. Even if you want to create multiple and comments, so what I generally like advise is, suppose you want to create these 2 lines as comment. So put hash in both these lines. Okay, now there is a shortcut key also available, okay, for creating a comment. Okay, whichever lines you want to create a comment, convert into comment, select those lines. Even if it is a single line, just click there, click anywhere in the line. Okay, and then press control control plus forward slash. Control plus forward slash. Forward slash is present at the left hand side of the shift key. Okay, see, now they're converted to comment. If I press again, uncomment, comment, uncomment, comment, uncomment. Clear everyone so far? Okay. So that is all about comments. Let's move forward. Okay, next thing class that we have to, what's the shortcut? Write down. Shortcut is control plus, let me write, forward slash, okay? Forward is the one with question mark, right? Yes. Okay. Next thing class that we have to start is your types of operators in Python. Can anyone explain me what do you understand by the term operators? Anyone? Just quickly. What do you understand by the term operators? Right, to perform some mathematical calculation, right? Plus, minus, into, divide, all these basically these things are called as operators, right? Okay. So now we will there in Python specifically there are 7 types of operators available. Okay, there are 7 categories. I would say 7 types or 7 categories. Okay, of operators are available. Okay. Now we will cover all of them one by one. Let's take the first one. That is your arithmetic operators. Okay. Now when we say arithmetic operators. So arithmetic operators, all of you have studied in mathematics also, right? So that is your plus, minus, okay, multiplication, division. These 4 are there. Okay. Now apart from these 4, there are 3 more. Okay. Next is called as floor, division. There is double asterisk, that is called as power, or you can also call it as exponent operator. Okay. Then there is one more called as modulus operator. I will explain all of them one by one. Suppose class, let's say you have a variable x is equal to, I don't know, maybe 5. You have a variable y is equal to 2. Okay. Now, suppose you want to add them, so you will simply write, let's say z is equal to x plus y, and then you will write print z, or directly z, you can write 7. Similarly, you can write x minus y class directly also. Plus here I am storing the addition of the sum of x plus y inside a variable z. Okay, but in this case x minus y I'm not storing. I'm just directly printing the output on the screen. I am not storing in any variable. Okay, totally up to you. See, whether you want to store it in a variable or not totally depends on you. Whether you want to store, whether you want to use the output, use the sum or difference or whatever the output is, okay, later on or not. If you want it later on, if you want the output later on, if you want to use the output later on, then obviously you need to store it in a variable. But if you don't want to use it, okay, then there is no need of storing it in a variable. Okay. So here class addition, subtraction, then multiplication may it will be simply x multiplied by y. Okay, then there will be x divided by y. Acha, one thing. Here you can see guys, I have written x by y. X is 5 and y is 2, right? So now if I write here 5 divided by 2, so you can see it is giving me 2.5. But if I write 5 divided by 2, what it should give us? What should be the output here, class? 2, right? Okay, but the answer will be 2.0. Remember one thing, in Python specifically, the output will always be in float format. The output of division. Okay, the output of division will always be in a float format. Remember this thing? Okay. So we have covered this for plus, minus, into, divide. Okay, then there is floor division. Now see, anyone know the concept of flooring or and ceiling in mathematics? Concept of flooring. Flooring basically means class round down. Okay, there is one more thing called as ceiling. Okay, ceiling means round up. Right, round off to the lowest integer. Round off to the Prabha, round off to the highest integer smaller than the value. Okay, flooring is round off to the highest integer. Eamon, what exactly you have not written? So if you're writing this list, I've shaded this list on the chat also. As from plus minus. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so what happens in case of flooring? Plus flooring basically means round down. So round down or round to the nearest integer smaller than the value. Okay, so suppose let's say I am saying what is a floor of 3.5. Suppose let's say I ask you to round off 3.5. So how will you round off 3.5? 3.5 round off. I'm not saying flooring, round off 3.5. It will be 4, right? For 3.5, it will be 4. Okay, but if I ask you to round off 3.4, 3.4 will be 3, right? So in case of when we are rounding off, so rounding off basically depends on the if it is more than 0.5, equal to or more than 0.5, then we go to the upper number. If it is less than 0.5, then we go to the lower number, right? That happens in case of round off. But when we say round down, okay, so round down it will always go to the smaller integer. So if I say what is the floor of 3.5, it will be always 3. Hirish, what exactly are you asking? Acha, this is not equal to, this is plus, sorry. Yes, yes. Okay. Now let me show you. See, now we are covering floor division. We are not covering flooring. We are covering floor division. So in what happens in case of floor division? Flooring and ceiling are known as what, Ayush? Okay. In case of class floor division, what happens? Suppose let's say I'm writing 7 by 2. So what will the answer? 3.5, right? Ideally the answer should be 3.5, right? But suppose if I write 7 double slash 2, then what will happen in this case? Python will first divide. Okay, first, it will divide first, divide and then floor the answer. Okay. So what will be the answer in this case, class? What do you think should be the answer? 3. Because 7 by 2 will be 3.5 and then it will floor it. So answer will become 3. Okay. Now there is one thing in case of floor division. Whatever is the data input whatever is the data type of the values will be the data type of the output also. Suppose let's say I'm writing here 7.0. Now this is the float, /2. Okay, now here you can see the answer is 3.0. Since the input was, since the question was in float format, that is why the answer is also in float format. In previous case, in cell number 16, okay, the input was in integer format, so output was in integer format. Okay, so this is what happens in case of float division. Clear everyone class so far? Okay, so now let's continue. Okay, next is the power operator. Okay, I was sure how it will always floor. This is called as floor division. There is nothing called as seal division. It will always floor only. Okay. Next is class exponent operator, power operator, you can say. So suppose let's say x is there, x is what? X is 5 and y is 2. So if I write here x double star y, so here what should be the output then? It is a power operator. 25, right? 5 square. Okay, suppose let's say I write 4 power 3. You can see 64. If I write here 2 power 5, it is 32. No, there is nothing called a ceiling division in Python. If you want to perform ceiling and flooring separately, there is some, I will cover this later on also. Okay, there is something called as, there is a library called as maths library. Okay, so using maths library, we can do the task. But in core Python, no, you cannot do ceiling or flooring separately. This is not flooring class, this is floor division. There's a difference. It is first dividing and then flooring it. It is not just flooring. Mamta, flooring means it will go down, na? 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. So it will go down, right? If you want to remember, so you can remember in this manner. Your floor is below, na? Floor is down to us and ceiling is up, right? So you can remember this in this manner also. Ajay, this is a XOR operator. Bitwise XOR operator. Okay, I guess all of you have understood exponent operator. Then next is your modulus operator. Okay. Now, what happens in case of modulus operator? Anyone? Any idea? What is modulus operator? Remainder, exactly. Modulus operator is basically remainder. It gives us the remainder. Now, suppose class, let's say, sorry. Now, suppose class, let's say there is 5. Okay, and if I write division 5 divided by 2, what will be the answer? It will be 2.5, right? I am dividing. I'm not using modulus operator as of now. But if I write here 5 modulus 2, then what will be the answer, class? 1. Okay. So basically your modulus operator gives a remainder whenever you're dividing some number with other number, it will give you the remainder. So can anyone tell me, class, can anyone of you guess any application where, like, why exactly are we studying modulus operator? What is the point of calculating the remainder? One application of calculating the remainder is that you can use to calculate. Yes, exactly. If you want to see, when we say odd or even, okay, so what happens in case of odd or even? If we divide a number by 2, if you divide a number by 2 and you get a remainder 0, that means the number is even. And if you get a remainder 1, that means the number is odd, right? So if you want to check if the number is even or odd, then you can use modulus operator. Another thing that Shashank said, if you want to check if a particular number is completely divisible by another number or not. Suppose let's say there is 65 and I want to check if 65 is divisible by 3 or not. So it is giving me 2. Okay, but if I write 65 modulus 5, it will give me 0 because 65 is divisible by 5. That is why it is giving a remainder 0. So if we are getting a remainder 0, then yes, the number is divisible. If you are not getting if you are getting anything else apart from 0, then the number is not divisible. As simple as that. Clear everyone class so far? Arithmetic operators clear? All these 7 were arithmetic operators. Okay, plus, minus, into, divide, floor divide, power, and modulus. Okay, power operator में basically it does power. Suppose I've written 4 double star 3. If you write a single asterisk, then it will multiply. If you write double asterisk, then it will take power. Okay, so 4 double asterisk 3 is 64. 4 to the power 3. Similarly here 2 raised to the power 5. So you can say flooring is not exactly for quotient. Quotient can be in decimal also, no? Depending on if you want to go into decimal or not. If you're not going into decimal, then yes, you can say it is for quotient. Okay, division is also for division will also give you quotient, no? And modulus is for remainder, yes. Power exponents are gives us can power exponents. See, exponent operator is basically giving us the output of the power of something. No? Suppose let's say you want to calculate 5 raised to power square. So you can write 5 double asterisk 2. So this is 5 ka square. Similarly, if you enter at 5 power 3, that is 5 a cube. Clear everyone so far? Next is class assignment operator. Assignment operator. Okay, now what happens in case of assignment operator? No? Equal to is there. There are total of 8 assignment operators. Equal to, plus equal to, minus equal to, multiply equal to, divide equal to, floor divide equal to, power equal to, and modulus equal to. Okay, now let's understand this. Suppose let's say I'm taking x and y on x only, or let it be. Let me create a new variable. Suppose class I'm writing x is equal to 5. So can I say here class that we are assigning the value 5 to the x variable? Can we say here that we are assigning the value 5 to the x variable? So here equal to is called as assignment operator because it is being used to assign a particular variable, a particular value to a particular variable. Is this clear? Okay. Now let's continue now class here. X equal to 5. So we have created this variable x equal to 5. We have assigned the value 5 to the x variable. Now, suppose if in my code, let's say I am writing here x is equal to x plus 1. Okay. And then I write here x. So what do you think will be the output here, class? 6, right? Because here what will happen in case of in line number 1? It will here class. See, we have written x here at 2 places. There is LHS, there is RHS. Okay, in the RHS side, that means this one. In the right hand side, that means this x. Okay, so what will happen in this case is class, this x will basically fetch the value of the current x from the memory. It will fetch the value of the current x variable from the memory, that is 5. Okay, it will fetch the value. So what will happen in this case? It will be a 3-step process. So first it will fetch. Okay. Then it will add, and it will fetch. So what will the output of fetch class? 5. Okay, then it will add. So 5 plus 1, 6. So whatever is the output now, whatever is the output of the RHS, What is the output of RHS? That is 6, right? So output of the RHS will be stored or will be assigned again to the X variable, that is 6. Okay, that is your assignment. All of you understood the process? First, it will fetch the value of the X variable, then it will add 1 to it, and whatever is the output, it will store that output in the X variable again. Okay, this is a 3-step process. You can see 6. Now, this particular code can also be written using the assignment operator x plus equal to 1. Can anyone tell me what will be the output here now? If I print x, 6 or 7? It will be 7. Understand this class. What is the current value of x in the memory? Current value of x in the memory is 6, right? So now, when I am saying x plus equal to 1, so it will add 1 to the current value of x. See, basically this 3-step process will be done by this x plus equal to 1. It will first fetch, it will add, and then it will reassign. Okay, so if I run this code here, you can see it is giving us 7. Similarly, suppose if I write here x multiply equal to 3, what will be the output? What will be the output of this? 21, right? So it is multiplying 3 to the current value of x and storing it in the x again. Okay. Suppose if I write here x minus 2, y is equal to x minus 2, and I am writing here x. So tell me the output now. Wrong. I am printing x on the screen. I am not printing y. X is 21, right? So 21 minus 2 will be 20, 21 minus 2 will be 19. So 19 will be stored inside the y variable. I am not changing the x variable at all. X variable will still remain 21, but when we check y, it will become 19. Got this, class? See, x plus equal to 1, what exactly is happening? Sonia, what exactly is happening in x plus equal to 1? Okay, see, this code. I hope all you understood this one, x equal to x plus 1. Now, x equal to x plus 1 can also be written as x plus equal to 1. When you are doing some operation on a particular variable, if you're doing some operation on a particular variable and then you're storing the output of the operation in the same variable, like in this case, we are using the x variable to fetch the value, and then whatever is the output of the operation is being stored in the x variable again. So in this kind of cases, you can use assignment operator. Okay, like here, plus equal to is an assignment operator. So what it is doing, it is adding 1 to the current value of x. Okay, and whatever is the output is being stored in the x variable again. Is this clear, everyone? Okay. All of you understood this, all 8 of them? You can use all 8 of them in the similar manner. Plus, minus, and plus equal to is there, plus equal to, minus equal to, floor equal to, power equal to, all of them can be used in the similar manner. Okay. Next thing that we have to see is your class comparison operator. Yes, modulus is remainder values. Yes. Comparison operators. Now, comparison operators, because there are 6 comparison operators are there. There is equal to, there is not equal to, this is called as not equal to, then there is greater than, there is less than, there is greater than equal to, there is less than. Siddharth, what like I am covering in detail only, na, as of now. But if you want to, if you're asking the application of all these things, yes, we will be using. We will learn how to apply in upcoming classes. Okay, but yes, I am currently covering everything in detail. Detail in the sense I am covering the operators topic completely. The application I will cover later. How these things are applied. Okay. Now suppose class, let's say I am writing here x equal to 5. Okay, so what exactly is happening here? X equal to 5 mein? Here equal to is working as an assignment operator, right? We are assigning. Okay. So that is fine. But when I write here class x equal to 5. So here class we are comparing. At this place I am assigning the value 5 to x variable. Okay, but here in this case I am checking whether if the value of x is 5 or not. Now class, the output of comparison operator, the output of this operator is always a Boolean value. Either it will give us true or false. Okay. So x equal to 5 is giving us true. But suppose let's say class, if I write here x equal to let's say maybe 2, so it will give me false. Why? Because the value of x is not 2. Right? So it is giving us false. Yes, Imran. Okay. Now the opposite of this is x not equal to. Suppose if I write here x not equal to 2, then it will give us true. Yes, because that is true that x is not equal to 2. Okay. Now, if I write here class x is greater than 2, it will give me true because the value of x is 5. So 5 is greater than 2. Tell me class, what will happen if I write x is greater than 5? X is greater than 5, what will happen? It will give us false, right? Why? Because 5 cannot be more than 5, right? 5 cannot be greater than 5. Okay. I can write 5.1 greater than 5. This will give us true. Okay. But x greater than 5 will not give us true, because 5 cannot be greater than itself. Similarly, 5, sorry, similarly, x less than 5 will also give us false. But if I write here x less than equal to 5, it will give us true, because in case of less than equal to, it will check two things. Either it should be less than or it should be equal to. Similarly, x greater than equal to 5 will also give us true. Ayush, what exactly are you not getting? Others are getting this class so far? All of them equal to, all of you got all the operators? Ayush, how to calculate what? See, here you're comparing two things. No? Suppose you have written the value of x is 5 currently. We know that. Okay, so suppose if I'm writing x is greater than 5, so the value of x is 5, no? So it is like this, 5 greater than 5. Now tell me one thing, can 5 be more than 5? No, no. So that is why it will give us false. So whenever, whatever you are checking, if it is possible, then it will give you true, otherwise it will give you false. How single variable is checking if value is true or false? How single variable is checking? Single variable is not checking, Siddharth. Variable is not checking. In the variable, value is stored. When we say x, the value of x currently is 5 in the memory. Okay, the checking is been done by the operator. When I'm saying x is greater than 5, so it is checking if the current value of x, whatever is there in the memory. Suppose let's say We have a variable y is equal to 2. And I say y greater than 5. So what will happen in this case? It will compare the current value of y with 5. It will compare the current value of y with 5 and it will give us false because current value of y is 2 and 2 greater than 5. Tell me one thing, 2 greater than 5, true or false? It is false, right? 2 cannot be greater than 5. You can compare x and y as well. Excellent. X is 5 and there is y. So we can compare x and y also. X is greater than y. What will it give us? Plus true, right? 5 is greater than 5. 5 is greater than 2. Clear class, all of them? Comparison operator. All of you understood comparison operator? Here we are comparing two different variables. Yes. Okay. Let's continue now, class. Next is your logical operators. Okay. Now, class, in Python specifically, there are three types of logical operators. Okay, there is and, there is or, and there is not. No, Vinesh, you cannot use more than two variables at a time. Okay. Let me just quickly tell you. See, if at x is greater than y is greater than, you want to use variables, na? Suppose there is a variable z equal to 3. And you're writing x is greater than y is greater than z. Okay. So here, class, it will do what? At a time, it will compare only two of them. So it is comparing these two. X is greater than y, and whatever is the output of this will be compared with z. And in this case, it doesn't make sense here because x is greater than y. X is 5, y is 2. So this will become true now. So this will become true like this. X is greater than y is greater than z. Okay, so this part of the code which I have highlighted currently, this part of the code which I have highlighted, the output of this part will be true, right? So it will now compare true is greater than z, which doesn't make sense. Are you getting this, class, everyone? Okay. So now coming to logical operators, there are three logical operators and, or, and not. Okay. No, you cannot compare three at a time. You can, but it doesn't make sense, Nitin. It is what I'm saying. Okay, it is ideally but not recommended to compare three of them at a time. Okay. Now, suppose, class, here I'm explaining these three things and, or, and not. Okay, these are called as Boolean operators. These are called as Boolean operators. So AND operation, basically, class, what is an AND operation? Let's understand it. And according to AND operation, the output, okay, O/P means output. Okay, the output will be true if both the inputs are true. Otherwise, false. Okay, that means what? Let me show you. Suppose, class, let's say I'm saying x is equal to a is equal to true and b is equal to true and c is equal to false. And I now write a and b. So what should be the output, class? True. Now if I write here a and c, the output will be false, right? Because in case of AND operation, the output will be true if and only if both the inputs are true. Both of them should be true, only then the output will be true. Otherwise it will be false. Okay, this can be written in another logical operator can be used in another manner also. Suppose class, let's say I am saying that in 12th class I scored 90 in mathematics, okay, or let's say 91 in mathematics. Now I want to see whether I have scored more than 90 or not, more than 90 and less than 100. So how I will write? I will write here m is greater than 90 and m is less than 100. So here understand this in this manner class. In this case specifically, what will happen? It will first check this one, whether this is true or not. Okay. So m greater than 90 is true, right? So it will become true. And m is less than 100. That is also true. So, and what is true and true class? What is true and true? True, right? So you can see hence the answer true. But suppose if I write here 136. So here it become m is greater than 90. Yes, true. M is greater than 90. True, right? And m is less than 100. This will be false. So true and false will give us a false. All of you understood how AND is working? AND operator? Perfect. Okay. Then next is class. Next is OR operation. According to OR operation, the output will be true if at least one of the inputs is true. Otherwise, false. That means true or true will give us true. True or false will give us what class? True only. Okay. At least one of the inputs. See, it is saying in our operation, at least one of the inputs should be true. At least, kam se kam ek. Okay. Input should be true. Okay. Similarly, false or true will give us true. But false or false will give us what class? This will give us false because there is no true now. Okay, same thing. Let me write down for AND also quickly. True and true will give us true. True and false will give us what class? It is AND operator. AND operator will give us a true when both of them are true. Right? So let me give an example and or. Okay, see what happens in case of AND. Suppose let's say I am saying if it is raining also, if it is raining also, and if it is there is a it is sun is also there, and it is also raining it is also raining. So only in that case rainbow will be there. Okay, when both of the conditions are true, rainbow is also true. Okay, sun is also true. So in that case only, okay, there will be a rainbow. Are you getting this class? Both the conditions should be true. Rain also, sun also. Only then your rainbow will be there. This is example of AND operator. That both of the conditions should be true. Okay. In case of OR operator, any one of the conditions should be true. That either it is raining or it is or there is a sun. Okay. So either it is raining or there is a sun. Any one of them should be true for me to take umbrella. If there is if there is rain, but there is no sun, there is rain, there is no sun, I will take umbrella. There is no rain, but there is sun, I will take umbrella. There is rain also, there is sun also. I will take umbrella. There is no rain, there is no sun. I will not take umbrella. Are you getting this class, everyone? Are you getting the example or not? Okay. Now, false and true will give us what? False. And false will give us what? Again, false. Excellent. Okay. So in case of AND operator, we will get true only in one scenario. Okay. In case of OR operator, we will get false in only one scenario. Okay. Next is your class not operator. Not operator may class what happens? It will take only a single input at a time. It will take only a single input and it will just negate it. It will just invert it. Write down. According to not operation, the output of true will be false and vice versa. Okay. Let me show you. Suppose let's say I'm writing x is equal to, let's say a equal to. Now if I write here not a, so you can see we're getting a false value. Okay. Suppose let's say x variable is there. I'm saying x is greater than 5. X is greater than 2. So what will be the output of this class? What will be the output here? True, right? Now, suppose if I write not of this, then what will I get? False. Because x greater than 2, okay, is true. Okay, and not of true is false. Okay, similarly, you can take this also. Let's take this example. Okay, here, what is the output class in this case? What will be the output in this case? It will be true, right? But what if, okay, what will the output in this case? Wait. Now this one, tell me. It is an OR operator class. True, right? Now, output of this, it will be true, right? Because in case of OR operator, we need single true. Okay, so m less than 100 is true, right? Now, output of this class, false, right? Because m greater than 90 will give us false. Okay, let me write down. M greater than 90 is false. And then there is an OR operator, then there is a NOT operator. M less than 100 is true, right? This will become what? False or false? false or false will give us a false. Clear, everyone? Is everyone getting logical operators completely? Perfect. Okay. Now, class, next operator we have to work on is your. Are there symbols for any other derived operators like NOR? If not, can we perform them somehow? For NOR operator, NAND operator, NOR is not of AND, na? So obviously you can do that. See, there is no symbol available, but you can do it in this manner, no? We show you. Suppose let's say this is there. Okay. This is AND operator, right? Currently. But if I want to implement NAND operator, so not of AND, got that? Are you getting this class? This is NAND operator, no? Not of AND operator, right? Similarly, you can say NOR also like this. Now this is NOR. Is everyone getting this or not? Is everyone getting this or not, class? Okay, perfect. Ayush, basically not operator, what it does, basically it inverts. If there is a true, it will invert it to false. Okay, if it is a false, then it will invert to true. That's it. AND operator basically works between two values. Okay, not operator requires only two single value only. If it is a true, then it will convert it to false. If it is a false, then it will convert into true. 83. Okay, Savina, okay, here you can see the value of M currently is 81. So if I say M is greater than 90, that means 81 is greater than 90. It will give us a false. Okay, hence we're getting a false here, first one. Okay, and then next is M is less than 100. So 81 is less than 100. That is true. We're getting a true here. Okay, but then there is a not, right? So not of true will become a false, and then false or false will give us a false. Okay. Now someone was asking precedence of operators. Okay. Someone earlier was asking precedence of operators. So what do we understand by precedence of operators? Let's see. Suppose class, let's say uh, I'm writing x plus, sorry, I'm writing 5 plus 2 multiplied by 3, let's say. So now in this case, precedence of operators you can understand is as a preference of operators, right? Which operator will be calculated first, will be operated first. Okay. So in this case, which operator will be taken first, class? Multiply, right? Now you're applying the Damas rule. Okay, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. Yes. All of you are applying the Damas rule, right? So now Damas rule is basically present for this only. All of you know the Bodmas rule also, BODMAS. So bracket off, right? Bodmas rule, perfect. Okay, so now we know one thing from the Bodmas rule, that bracket will always have the highest preference. Now, when we talk about precedence of operators, we have covered a lot of operators till now. Okay, we have covered 7 arithmetic operators, 7 assignment operators, 8 assignment operators, 6 comparison operators, and 3 logical operators. So now, in this case, we have covered what? 7, 8, that is 15. 15, 6, 21, 21 and 3, 24. We have covered 24 operators so far till now. Okay. So obviously it will become a little bit difficult for you to remember the entire preference of operators. Okay. But even if you want to go for that, what you can do, precedence of operators, you can just Google it simply. Okay. And I think you can maybe open this link. Okay, and we will get the entire list. We will get the entire list of all the operators. Okay, but one thing that I would suggest from my end is okay, instead of remembering this entire list, see one thing, that parentheses or brackets have the highest preference. Okay, so suppose, let's say in this case, what I personally follow. Okay, suppose in this case, I want to add this two together first. Okay, so I will do what? I will put brackets here. Brackets will always be given a highest preference. So it will add them 5 plus 2, 7, and then it will multiply the output by 3. Are you getting this, everyone, class? In order to be on the safer side, even if you don't remember, suppose let's say here you don't remember that it will add first or it will multiply first, but you want to multiply from your end. Okay, so in order to be safe on the safer side, do one thing, just put a bracket here. So no matter what the precedence is, it will always multiply first because of the brackets, and then it will add. Is this clear, everyone, or not? So let me go one step further. Suppose let's say there is a division operator also. Okay, divide by 2, let's say. Now suppose you want to multiply and then add. Instead of dividing, okay, it will, okay, first thing it will do multiply. What will the second step, class? It will divide or add? It will divide, no? It will first multiply and then it will divide. Okay, but you want to add. So what I will do in this case, I will put another bracket here like this. So first it will multiply and then it will add and then it will divide the entire output then with divide by 2. Clear, class, everyone? Okay, again, those who wants to if you want to remember the entire this list, okay, so you can go for it here. Okay, but again, totally up to you. Okay, moving forward, class. See, there are two more operators that are present here, class. That is your bitwise operator and identity operators. These two operators I am not covering as of now. Okay, bitwise operators I will cover once we start data analysis. Okay, why is that? Because bitwise operators you won't be using in core Python. Okay, bitwise operators are majorly used in software development. Okay, in data science, okay, in core Python, otherwise we don't require generally. Okay, bitwise operators are not required. So I won't be able to give you the application or you won't be able to understand them easily. So I will cover bitwise operators once we start your data analysis, because in data analysis we use bitwise operators. Okay, there is a concept called as filtering. Okay, in data analysis, so at that time we will be using that. Okay, identity operators well, identity operators, let me just quickly cover. Okay, that I can do. I think you should be able to understand that. Okay. Identity operators. Okay. Now, class, in Python specifically, there are two identity operators, is and is not. These two are there as identity operators. Now, before covering identity operators, let me cover the word identity. Okay, suppose let's say I'm creating a variable x equal to 5. Okay, and I'm creating another variable y is equal to 5. Okay, now there is something called as class ID. So if I check the ID of X, it will give me this one. Okay, so it is giving ID. All of you understand the concept of roll number, class, roll number or employee ID in companies, roll number in colleges, schools, right? So what is roll number, class? There can be two students in the class, okay, having the same name, but roll number will be a unique number, unique ID na, for each and every student. Exactly. Similarly, when we are creating variables in our code, okay, so Python will automatically assign a unique identity to each and every variable. Now, what happens in case of immutable data types? You can see here we are using integer, and integer is immutable. I covered immutable and mutable in the last session, if you remember. Okay. So what happens in case of immutable data types? Okay, if I write ID X and ID Y, you can see we're getting the same output. Okay, so in case of immutable data, okay, if the value stored is same in two different variables, here you can see 5 is stored in X also, 5 is stored in Y also. So in those cases, Python will assign the same ID to all of them because they're immutable in nature, they cannot be modified. Okay, but suppose the value is different. Let me show you. There is a variable called as Z, and there is 4 there, and I write ID of Z. You can see it is giving us a different number. See, is it clear, class, so far? In case of immutable data types, if the data stored is same, okay, then ID will also remain same. In case of immutable data types, but let's suppose I'm creating a list. Okay, suppose I'm writing here P is equal to. Okay, I'm creating a list. I'm storing some number 23, 67, 43. Some data. I'm creating another list called as Q 23, 67, 43. Okay, and then I write here ID of P. It will give me this. If I write here ID of Q, it will give me this. So here you can see, class, even though the data is same in both of them, even though the data is same in both of them, P and Q, okay, even then the ID is different because P and Q are stored as a list and list is mutable in nature. Is this clear, everyone? Rishabh, I covered this in the last session. Mutable data basically means the data that can be modified. Okay, suppose let's say I can write here P of 0 is equal to 100. So you can see at in the start at the 0th position it was 23, but now there is 100. All of you remember now mutable, class. So list is mutable. Okay. Now understand this thing, class. I'm just running this code again. Wait. This thing I'm using again. Okay. So that P and Q are same. Understand this, class. If I write here P equal to Q, what do you think I will get? We'll get a true value. Okay, equal to basically it is comparing. So you will get a true value. But if I write here P is Q, then what will happen? Is basically an identity operator. It will give a false. Okay. So actually P is Q is equivalent to ID of P equal to ID of Q. Are you getting this or not, class? The is operator, the identity operator is basically comparing the IDs of both of them. Okay, but suppose let's say we are talking about X and sorry, क्या था वो हमारा? X and Y. Okay, so if I say X is 5 and Y is also 5. Okay, so if I write here X equal to Y, it will give us a true. And similarly, if I write here X is Q, X is Y, sorry, it will give us a true then also. Why? Because the idea of X and Y, both of them is same. We saw that here. Clear, class? Yes, in identity operator, we are actually comparing the two IDs of two variables. No, ID will not won't be different in case of immutable data. If the data is immutable in nature, okay, in that case, even though the data is same, even then it will give us same output, same IDs. Like here you can see, here it is giving us same IDs, okay, and data was same. Okay, but in case of mutable data, even if the data is same, then also it will give us a different output, different IDs. See, P and Q में data same है. Data is same in P and Q, both of them, but still it is giving us different IDs. Clear, class, everyone? list till 97. I think I covered this in the last session. No? This is P0 basically. See, when P is there, okay. So if I write here P0, the P0 will give me the first element. If I write here P1, the P1 will give me the second element of the P variable, P list. Clear now? Is it clear class so far? Additive operators are used to compare the memory locations of, is it correct sentence? No, Sabina. This is not a memory location. No. ID doesn't give us the memory location. ID will just give us the unique ID which is assigned to each and every variable. This is not a memory location. Intent float are immutable, yes, Samar. Okay. So let's continue now, class. For strings, ID is also same. Yes, string is immutable. List, dictionary, and set. These three are immutable data types. List, dictionary, and set. All other data types apart from list, dictionary, and set are immutable in nature. Imran, because for immutable data, the data is not going to be changed, na? Because it is immutable in nature. You cannot change the data in the code. Okay, so ID will obviously remain same, na? It will not differ. हाँ Prabha, yes. Uh, String in C language is, I think, mutable. List, dictionary, and set, Abhishek. Okay, so let's continue class. Next is your membership operator. Okay, now class, membership operators in Python, there are two operators, in and not in. Okay, class, next is membership operator in and not in. Okay, now suppose class, let's say we have a list with us. Let's check P only. Now, suppose I want to check if a particular element, I want to check if a particular element is part of, is a member of this P list or not. So I can write here 23 in P. So it will give me a true value. Suppose if I write here 100 in P, it will give me a false value. Now, remember membership operator basically, they work only on collection data types. So suppose let's say I have a variable X. Okay, 5 is there. Okay, and I write 3 in X. So it will throw me an error because it doesn't make sense. Because X is not a collection. Imran, I'm not sure about that, JavaScript. Like I don't know JavaScript, so I cannot answer that. Well, if you understood membership operator or not? 100 in P will give us a false, but if I write 100 not in P, it will give us a true value. It will always, yes, membership operator, they will always return a Boolean value. See, I'm just writing down the bitwise operators since until you are asking, but I'm not covering this topic as of now. Bitwise operators mein there is your this is bitwise and this is called as bitwise and there is pipe. This is called as bitwise or. Okay, then there is your div. This is called as bitwise not. Okay, so these three operators are there. Clear class, everyone till here? No, and or not to that is see and or not that is different. That is logical operator. In logical operator, we use A and D for and, OR for or, NOT for not. Okay, but in bitwise operator, we use the symbols. That's the difference between. Devashish, you have to use not that I have covered only, logical operator not only. You have to use NOT. Okay, you have to cover these three only for now. Okay? No, it is not symbolic representation. No, they are different operators, Santil. That is also there. That is bitwise OR actually. Take that also. Bitwise OR. See, bitwise operators के लिए I cannot give you any examples because for that, see, give me some time, okay? Because I will be covering this during data analysis. As of now, you will be able to understand bitwise operators, why we are using them. Okay, I'm leaving out bitwise operators only for now. Okay, I hope all of you have understood all of the operators class. These 6 operators you have understood apart from bitwise.